Never thirsty. Never thirsty.
It's a good news week. And I'm happy that there's good news this week. And by the time people see this, who even knows? Maybe I had a bad week. But this week, the moment we're doing this live, it's a good week. And you
awesome
gotta
week.
Good, and you got to enjoy the good because it's not always good. So enjoy the good. And how about you, Neff? Something good happened to you this week, I'm sure.
Well, I mean, I'm working on a new Method Man video for Meth Lab 3. So, featuring RJ Payne. I don't know if you know him, the artist. Yeah, he's pretty dope.
Yeah.
I got that. That's really what I got going on for this week.
That's a great week.
Yeah, isn't it?
We have my Method Man story, right? We go back, me and Meth.
Oh, back to the old apartment.
Well, that too, but even after that, when we did the MTV show Blowing Up, Method Man and RZA were both on our show, but Method Man was one of the first guys that came on our show, and what a day that was. He's the man. He's the man.
So can I see that show on YouTube?
No,
it's the dang
doesn't exist.
So it's like a secret Method Man Stu Stone file.
I mean, the only clip that I've able to find on YouTube was there's a clip with me and Jamie Kennedy and with DJ Premier that's on YouTube, and that's a great clip that maybe WireFang can pull up and show.
Oh yes,
make the next video go to that or something.
Yes.
I mean, we met everybody. We had this show where we were trying to become rappers. It was like a Curb Your Enthusiasm kind of comedy, way ahead of its time because it was a hybrid, much like Faking a Murder. It's like the people that were in the show were not in on it, so to speak. Yet,
so we can't watch it at all.
No. Well, you can buy maybe like DVDs off like Amazon or eBay or something, but it's not like an out there thing. It's like MTV doesn't have it on that I'm aware of. But anyway, my point is Method Man was one of the guys that was on that show, and I'm sure we'll talk about that show many times because there's always stories that I forgot about, and it's relevant because we're always talking music. And you're working with Meth. I wonder if you could ask him when you see him if he remembers coming on the show with Jamie Kennedy.
Yes, I will ask him.
Because he clowned us in such a beautiful way, like in a loving way, that it worked so beautifully on the show. Because we were asking him to be on a track with us, and he said no, right? But we already had set up that Bob Saget was going to be the one that we're going to rap with. So Method Man didn't know this, but we were like setting him up to not want to work with us. It's like we were naturally acting a certain way so that he'd be like, I don't know about these guys. But I wonder if he remembers it.
He has to.
And then when we met with RZA, he wanted to work with us. It's like certain people that we expected to kick us out on the street loved us, like Premier and RZA. And then other guys like Lil Bow Wow weren't so keen to work with us.
Oh, you stepped a Lil Bow Wow too?
Oh, anybody that was like relevant from in 2005, 6, 7 were like on this show. And,
who was on the show? Give me like a little bit of a quick list.
I'll give you the quickest list because our guest is coming. But
the guest is here?
No, he's coming though. But the quick list. I mean, RZA, Method Man, Ice-T, Coco, the 3 6 Mafia, Mike Jones, Paul Wall, Russell Simmons, E40.
Wow.
T-Pain.
And Jessica
Simpson's dad, Joe Simpson. Burt Bachman. That's a lot of people I just named.
No, listen, that list is awesome.
Jonathan Lipnicki, if you remember him from Jerry Maguire, The Human Head Has 8 Pounds or Weighs 8 pounds. Did you ever see Jerry Maguire? It's a great movie.
No, of course I've seen it, but I'm trying to remember.
The little kid. That's like the little kid. He's so cute. Now he's a little older and me and
him. Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah. He's in it. Ozone from who passed away recently from
Breaking.
Yeah, he was in the he was on the show. Ed McMahon, if you remember from Ed McMahon was on there. Rest in peace, Ed McMahon. Am I missing anybody? Crunchy Black, Project Pat. I'm for sure missing people.
Yeah, I don't know how I missed out on this show. It sounds amazing.
It's so good, but it was just like people didn't know what to make of it because like the other shows that were on were like The Real World in the Hills. So it's like we were doing this like hip hop comedy thing, and people were like, "What is this? Like, is this real?" And like
it was ahead of its time.
people couldn't figure out is if are they joking or is it real? Is this are people are they acting? Like people couldn't figure it out. And then listen, stuff that came after that, like Borat and other things that came after that, like sort of were done in such beautiful ways that it made it a lot more. I mean, still, you could count on one hand projects that are like this: Curb Your Enthusiasm, Borat, Faking Murder, blowing up. But there's one called Bad Trip that was on with Eric Andre that was on Netflix. I think it's called Bad Trip.
Hilarious.
That's
funny.
Bad Grandpa, I think was or Dirty Grandpa with Jack with.
Oh yeah.
See, you can still count it on less than two hands the projects that have been out that are that style, and so it still isn't mainstream now, but it's such a beautiful style, man. I love it the most because you can't go to someone who's not an actor and hope that they're going to know how to act. The best way to shoot with real people is to have them be real and have them just react real. And there's a beautiful art form to getting people to react the way that you want them to react. I know going into it, I want Kevin Federline to like be pissed at us. So we're going to go in and we're going to behave a certain way or say a certain thing or we want to get him to tell us, or we want to meet with I mean, this is not a weird example, and I'm not trying to be like name droppy guy, but like we're going to meet Russell Simmons, and we know he's not going to sign us. But the whole point of going to see him is so that he'll tell us, we need to go see this person. So we'll just keep with him until we hear him say that. It's like we'll just keep going, and like eventually we get him to say what we need him to say without telling him to say that. Does that make sense?
Yes, you're leading the witness.
We're leading the witness, and Jamie Kennedy in a lot of ways gets the credit because was doing the hidden camera stuff, and so he was already doing that type of comedy. But his hidden camera show and our show were completely different animals because our show was not a hidden camera show. The cameras are with us filming. The people who are on our show know they're on a show. Right. I mean? So.
And wait, what's the name of the show again?
It's called Blowing Up.
Blowing Up. All right, I'm gonna dig for that.
You're not going to find it, and I hope you don't.
After all that?
Yeah. I'd rather tell stories about it. Listen, it's a long time ago, and, you have a secret rapper history.
Never thirsty. Never thirsty.